Well, good evening, this is Houndog Steve wishing you a very pleasant evening. And, well, here we are, CBC, I can't believe it, you know, the broadcaster of the nation. Oh my God. But before we get into that, I've opened up a Rumble channel. Okay, so I am now uploading all of my videos, not only to YouTube, but to Rumble as well. And I think I'm going to make a weekly exclusive that I'm only going to put up on Rumble, because I'm getting so tired of having to monitor my own speech to suit big tech and these social media platforms. And speaking of that, so this is an article from Russia Today, and what's so hilarious about this, I mean, it's hilarious at several levels. Okay, firstly, CBC refers to RT as a state-funded propaganda outlet. Okay. And yet here is CBC doing exactly the same thing. They have become a state-funded propaganda outlet. And the story that they are running now is that the truckers' convoy is some kind of Russian conspiracy. Russian conspiracy to topple the Canadian government. Because of their role in the Ukraine, and because they're supporting Ukrainians. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm so tired of the Russian narrative. I mean, it's as tired as that sad sack of wind, Hillary Clinton, who I understand is going to try and run again in 2024. Unbelievable, but to try and regurgitate the Russian narrative. I mean, couldn't you be a bit more original? I mean, couldn't it have come from Zambia or I don't know, Sierra Leone or Saudi Arabia? Yeah, couldn't there be some other conspiracy theory going around? I mean, please. And I think this is an indication of just what a bunch of dinosaurs the legacy media are. They're justifying everyone just moving away and not believing, not trusting mainstream media anymore. And CBC, like I say, well, you know, it did come out that the Liberal government had funded just about all of these mainstream media outlets to the tune of $500 million, which is basically, you know, buying their ear and their tongue. And you can see this. This is so clear in this one article about the CBC. So we'll just pop over, I'll read that for you, and we'll come back and I'll do a quick wrap-up. Okie dokie, here we go. And this from RT, media floats Russia theory for Canadian trucker protest. Ha, fancy that. State-owned CBC suggests that Russian actors may have instigated massive protest convoy that shut down Ottawa. A cross-country convoy of truckers that has jammed the streets of Canada's capital in protest against the COVID-19 vaccine mandates might seem like grassroots pushback against government overreach, but state broadcaster CBC Television has offered a more sinister explanation. Ooh, spooky music. Russia did it. Speaking in an interview on Friday with Canada's Public Safety Minister, Marco Mendicino, CBC host Neil Coxell suggested that possible Kremlin meddlers might have brought about the massive freedom convoy. Given Canada's support of Ukraine in this current crisis with Russia, I don't know if it's far-fetched to ask, but there is concern that Russian actors could be continuing to fuel things as this protest grows, but perhaps even instigating it from the outset, she said. Coxell didn't offer any evidence to back up the theory or say who had raised such a concern. Mendicino replied, I'm going to defer to our partners in the public safety, the trained officials and experts in that area. The interview came just before disgruntled truckers began to arrive in Ottawa on Friday night. Thousands of convoy participants and other protesters massed in the city on Saturday, bringing traffic to a standstill and sending Prime Minister Justin Trudeau into hiding. State-owned CBC said Trudeau and his family had been moved from his official residence to a secure location, apparently in Tofino, but don't tell anybody. As many as 50,000 trucks were reportedly expected to flood into Ottawa, and traffic was snarled across much of the city. Some of the trucks were emblazoned with Trudeau signs across their trailers, whilst other protesters demanded mandate freedom. Government restrictions that went into effect on January the 15th require unvaccinated Canadian drivers to quarantine for 14 days when they cross the border back into their country. Trudeau has condemned the angry truckers as holding unacceptable views. Spoiler alert, that's key for, if you don't agree with me, it's unacceptable. Prior to floating the theory of a Russian boogeyman, Canadian media outlets have made other claims that appear to smear the protesters, such as suggesting they are racist or extremist. The Toronto Star said the convoy became a magnet for such undesirable elements as conspiracy nuts. Western separatists, far right-wingers, and worse. Oh yeah, Star, go stick it where the sun don't shine. You're just this unbelievable far-left rag. Others have suggested that some participants want to carry out their own version of last year's US Capitol riot. A counter-protester was seen on Saturday saying, "Uck your white nationalist agenda," while Canadian television reporter Mackenzie Gray was quick to post a Twitter message proclaiming, "Our first Confederate flag of the day here on Parliament Hill." Multiple observers reported that Gray had spotted the first Fed of the day, meaning a federal agent seeking to discredit the protest. And that's what this state-sponsored, state-owned propaganda outlet called the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation thinks of this whole thing and thinks of you, my fellow Canadians. What do you think about that? So I think you can clearly see that CBC is really acting like a paid shill, and to come up with this tired narrative is absolutely beyond belief. And I think it is another indication that the powers that be and certainly the Liberal Party, but the globalists in general in Canada, are losing their grip, they're losing control of the narrative, and they're losing the confidence of the public. And it's about time too. The behaviour that we have seen from this government is an absolute disgrace, and it's been an ongoing disgrace for at least 20 years, if not 30 years, where it seems that the civil service and the politicians just didn't give a flying fig about the outcome as long as their pockets were lined and their agenda was filled. And I think you're seeing in the trucker convoy that this is a response to that. And good on you truckers, good on you Canadians. Thank God people are standing up. And I would urge you to call your MP, your MPP, write them a letter, send them an email, whatever it is, drown them. Drown them in just an avalanche of emails and registered letters. Let them know that we are not going to let them get away with this scot-free. And I've been putting on their Facebook pages and in the comments, I suggest to all politicians that you go home, you take care of your personal business, and you prepare yourself for the trials, because that is what is coming next. This government will fall, and there are trials of accountability that will follow, very similar to the trials of accountability that followed the Second World War. Trust me. You can only hold this narrative up aloft for so long, and it's so full of holes. Even their own data is absolutely contradicting everything that they're saying. The data out of Israel just recently, they're skyrocketing cases. And with 93% vaccination rate? Are you kidding me? So what's the point? What's the point of having the lockdowns? What's the point of having the vaccine mandates, the passports, whatever? What's the point? If you can get Omicron or Delta or COVID, vaccinated or unvaccinated, what is the point? Masked or unmasked, what is the point? This is so frustrating, and I urge everybody, when you go out tomorrow morning, when you go shopping, Just take that goddamn mask off and support the truckers who are supporting your Constitution. And I am going to link below a video, a brilliant interview with Jordan Peterson and Brian Peckford, who was one of the architects of the Constitution, the Constitution Act of 1982. He's the last Premier alive to be on that committee, and he has taken out a lawsuit against the government of Canada for distorting and abrogating the Canadian Constitution, its intention, legally and in spirit. And so watch this interview. Again, it's long, it's an hour and 20 minutes, but if you are interested in resolving the problems that we have in this country and worldwide, you need to start considering becoming involved in the political process. That's the only way we're going to change what is going on now. Not with these shill parties, not with these globalist parties, not at all. No, but with the real, based in common law parties where real people get elected and the civil service is reined in from unlimited growth and unlimited ability to commit atrocious mistakes without any responsibility or accountability. And transparency. That's all we're looking for. How hard can that be? Okay, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe below. And in the meantime, this is Houndog Steve, wishing you a very pleasant evening, and we'll talk very, very shortly. You take care now. See ya. Bye.